Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I am so glad you are here. I am so glad you've somehow found my channel and stumbled upon it. And I hope by the end of the video that you will make your mind up to subscribe and become part of my beauty YouTube family. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. It literally means the world to me. Why? Because I love having a place to come where I can share my passion. I'm a busy mom of a 1.5-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, a 14-year-old. I also work full-time, and I just love having this place where I can come and share my beauty passion. So I totally appreciate each and every one of you, whether it's your first time here or whether you have been here from the beginning or anywhere in between. You are so appreciated, and please know that. So this is a beauty channel, clearly, and a lot of times I have giveaways going on my channel. I do have one going on right now. It's an amazing giveaway. It's got like Glam Light, Anastasia, Beverly Hills. It has so many good products. It's a huge giveaway. I couldn't sit here and mention all of the things because it'll just take too long. If you want to see everything in the video will be linked in the description box below. And if you are new and you want to get your entry, that is also how you will get your entry, by clicking on the video where it says in the description box, enter my giveaway here. You'll be able to see all the products in the giveaway and then leave me a comment on that giveaway video. And that is how you get your entry. I use a random comment picking app for my giveaways. And also make sure you are subscribed, because you do have to be a member of the beauty YouTube family here on my channel to win the giveaway. Outside of that, you guys, I am so excited. So this is going to be the third video of my makeup tour series. And today we're talking about primers. Primers are my, outside of eyeshadows, primers are my favorite makeup product, because at 36 years old, my makeup is only going to look as good as my skin underneath. And so I'm always on the hunt for that perfect primer, and I have a ton. So you guys, when I tell you I have a ton, I mean I have a ton. So get a drink, get a snack, get whatever you need to make yourself cozy, and let's go through my primers, and I will let you guys know my favorites out of all of them, because I have everything from drugstore to high end. And let's get into them. So I'll start with the ones that I have right here. Okay, so I actually have two products that I want to talk about that aren't technically primers, but I feel like they're priming sprays. So I use these underneath makeup pretty much on a daily. I go back and forth between the two. One of them is the Bloom Effects Tulip Dew Mist, and I will spray this on. And let me just first off preface by saying that I use multiple primers every time I do my makeup. I'll use one for pore and line filling, and then I'll use one for like illuminance or mattification, whatever type of look that I'm going for that day. A lot of times I'll go with something illuminating because I'm a dry skin girl, but sometimes I want a matte look too, so I'll use a mattifying primer. It just all depends. But these are sprays that I consider primers because they go on underneath my makeup on a daily basis, and they are both so good. So like I said, one of them is the Bloom Effects Tulip Dew Mist, and I feel like this really helps to plump lines and hydrate. And then I also really love the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Veil Mist. This is something, actually both of these things I came across through BoxyCharm and was able to pick them up on the sales, and I am in love with both of them. Next, I actually just got this primer literally days ago at my local Marshall, no, TJ Maxx, and I could not believe it. I have never seen these at TJ Maxx before. It is the Ageless, which if you're not familiar with that line, it's a really nice skincare line, and this is their pore correcting anti-aging primer. I am obsessed, you guys. I have been using this every day since I got it. This is what the packaging looks like, and I think it's kind of interesting because it's got like these like a ruler on the side of it, and I'm not 100% sure why. I'll have to look that up. There's got to be a reason for it, right? I guess maybe like once you get to a certain amount. I do know, okay, so let me just say, this primer retails for like $48, like $50, and I was able to pick it up at my local TJ Maxx for $30. So it wasn't like a huge, massive discount, but it was still a discount, and I really wanted to try it, especially since this isn't a primer that's always seen at those discount stores. In fact, I've never seen it there. But it is supposed to do like short-term correction like any primer would, like fill in pores and fine lines and give you a base for your makeup. But it's also supposed to have long-term correcting effects in it through the ingredients. So I've only been using it for a few days. I love the way that it makes my face look underneath my makeup. As far as any long-term effects, I'll have to let you know on a later date. And next, from Tula, this is one of my summertime primers, but this is their Daydream Mineral Primer, and I love this so much because it's SPF 30, so it's a really, really good, it's almost like a sunscreen slash primer. So on those super hot days, or if I'm going to the beach, I'm going to be spending a lot of time outside on those summer days, this is one of my go-to summer primers, and I do really like it. And next, from Lorac, I have their Light Source 3-in-1 primer. I do believe I have one of these in my current giveaway. This is such a nice primer, you guys. It just gives the skin such a beautiful lit from within luminosity, and definitely helps your makeup stick and last. But I just love the way that it makes my skin look. Even if you, I love it because, oh, and it just has like just a very light lavender fresh scent to it as well. But I love it so much because it makes your skin look dewy and healthy and glowy, but without like any glitter particles or anything like that. Don't mind, got kids and cats and everything else. My hands are always a freaking disaster, but it just gives your skin such a pretty glow. I love it. And then I also have the, God, how do you even say this? Farsili? I don't know how it's pronounced, but everybody knows this. This is their Skin Tune Primer. It's not something that I reach for a whole ton. I do think that it's nice, but this is a newer one in my collection. It's from Ren Skincare, and it's their clean primer. So I actually just got this not too long ago, and I've only used it a few times. It seemed really nice the times that I used it, but I'll have to get into it more to really know how I feel about it. I just have so many primers that I don't know, guys. Okay, let's get into this huge drawer of primers. I'm not going to talk about each and every one because we will be here every night. I'm just kind of gonna start going through them. So I have the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This one is okay. I do feel like it's more of a moisturizer than a primer though. This is the Laura Mercier foundation. So this is her original primer. It's not like the super mattifying one. It's not the illuminating one. It's just the regular primer. That one I do like. Okay, so this is Hello Fab. This is the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothing Moisturizing Primer. As a dry skin girl, this is one that I like. But again, to me, it's one of those ones that it just feels more of like a moisturizer than actually like a pore filling and line filling primer. However, that same line does make one of my absolute all-time favorite pore and line filling primers, and it is the Hello Fab First Aid Beauty Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. This is a staple piece in my priming routine, if you will. I love this primer. It is one of my all-time favorites. I restock on it all the time. More recently into my collection is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I have put quite a dent into it, as you can see. I really do like this primer, but I will be quite honest with you. Because I have primers in my collection that are like almost an exact dupe and just a fraction of the price, this is not a primer that I would pay retail price for. If I'm able to pick it up on BoxyCharm or Ipsy add-on sales, which is where I originally did get this from, then I would not have a problem repurchasing it. But since we're talking about that, let's talk about the Makeup Revolution Pore Perfecting Primer. This primer is a fraction of the price, but as far as performance, texture, and everything like that, I have literally used both of them, one day and one the next day, just out of curiosity, because I thought they were so similar, and there is literally no difference in these primers outside of the Tatcha one having kind of like a really nice lavender scent, and this one not having any scent. If anything, it might smell a tad bit like Play-Doh, but it's nothing overwhelming. It's like literally like no scent. You're just smelling the substance, that's all. So like if I had to choose, you know, either of them, I would reach for either of them. And as far as the price point, this is very cheap. You can, from time and time again, find them at Marshalls and TJ Maxx for like $3 or $4, where this is super, super expensive. I want to say it's like $50 or $60. So I'm just letting you guys know this is like an exact dupe for it. Now from Touch in Sol, this is their Icy Pretty Sherbet Filter Primer. I don't know if I said that correctly, but I absolutely adore this primer. First of all, I think it smells amazing. Oh my God, it smells so good. This is another one that, as you can see, I put a huge dent in, and I actually have a, woo, I almost just pulled my whole drawer out, you guys. This is my backup drawer. I have a whole nother one in my backup drawer. So this is a primer that I absolutely love, and whenever I see it on the BoxyCharm sale for a discounted price, I pick one up for my backup drawer if I'm running low on the one that I'm using, because it's a great primer for pore and line filling, and it feels really nice on the skin. This is actually one I think I'm going to declutter. This came out of a BoxyCharm sale. It is the Evio Beauty primer that looks like this, but I want to try it one more time before I kick it to the curb. I've got this out of a BoxyCharm sale, and the one time that I tried it, I put it on, and then I started putting my makeup on, and everything started like peeling off. Like it was like as if I got a sunburn and my skin was peeling. That's what happened with this. Now, granted, it could be a bad mixture with the moisturizer that I used that day, or maybe it wasn't mixing well with the other primer that I used that day, because remind you, I do use multiple primers in one makeup look. So I think I'll give this one more shot and see how it goes, but if the same thing happens, I will be decluttering this one. Next, from Purlissy, this is something that I use on a daily basis. This is their Ageless Glow BB Serum. Actually, this probably should be in my complexion video, but to me, this is a primer because it goes on underneath my foundation. As a dry skin girl, this is what I will apply on top of another primer. Remember I told you I double prime, so I'll put like a pore filling primer on, for instance, and then I will put this on with a damp beauty blender, and then I will put the rest of my complexion products on, like whatever foundation and concealer I'm going to use for that day, also with my damp beauty blender. But this just gives me such a beautiful natural looking glow. Love that stuff, can't live without it. Staple piece in my routine. And next, from the Origins, this came out of an Ipsy, and it is their Pore Refining, it's like a little piece of makeup on there, Pore Refining Cooling Primer with Witch Hazel. I'll be honest with you, it's like a little aerosol can. I think I used it once or twice, but I cannot remember my thoughts on it. This is something I will have to revisit to see how I feel about it. But it is colored, as you can see on the spout there. And I can't remember, I feel like I used it and there was something that I just didn't love about it, maybe like the texture or something. It was kind of like bubbly and like just strange to me, but it's something I want to revisit before I declutter it. Next, from Touch in Sol, I have their No Problem priming water, and this was something that I had never tried before. I saw it at my TJ Maxx for super cheap and wanted to give it a go, and again, I probably used it once and I just can't remember my thoughts on it, so this is something that I'll have to revisit and see if I want to keep it. Next from Rodile or Rodeo, however we pronounce that. This is the glass primer. This came out of a very recent Ipsy bag, and I was so excited about this. And then I used it, and the very first time I used it, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But then I used it a few more times, and I do actually really like it. The key with this is a little goes a long way, because it leaves a iridescence on your skin that is like, let me see if I can get my camera to pick it up. I feel like my camera's, yeah, it's probably not going to pick it up, but let me just see. So it leaves like, yeah, my camera's not picking it up, but it leaves like a holographic iridescence to your skin, which if you use just a tad and blend it in with a damp beauty blender and then put your foundation over it, it actually can look extremely stunning. The first time I used it, I put it on like a regular primer, took like 2 big squeezes, rubbed it all over, and then was like, whoa. Whoa, I look like a freaking unicorn. But I have come to really like this primer, and it's an expensive one too. Okay guys, another one that I absolutely love is by Tula Skincare, and it is their Brighten Up primer. This is another one that I've put a huge dent in. As you can see, I'm about to hit pan in the middle, and then I'll be scraping the sides. This has absolutely no scent, but is very similar to the Touch and Soul as far as textures and wearability and how it feels on the skin. Very similar. Just this does not have the scent that this one does. And this one also has added skincare ingredients for a long-term beneficialness to your skin. Okay, next from Georgette Klinger, we have the Marilla Primer. This came in recent BoxyCharms. I did try it when I got it, and I think that I felt like it was a very nice gripping primer. If you're looking for something to fill pores and fine lines, this is not going to be your jam. But if you're someone like me that double primes, something to fill in and then something to grip, or something to illuminate, or something to mattify, you may really like this. Or if you just like a kind of like a water gel type based gripping primer, this is a good one. Next, from e.l.f., I have their Soothing Face Primer. This was something that I wanted to try because it just sounded so damn good. Anything that says soothing or cooling, you had me at your wording. But it is an e.l.f. primer. I do think that it is okay. It's not my favorite, but I'm not going to declutter it because I'll definitely use it until it's gone. I like the primer. It's just when you have as many as I have, of course, you're going to reach for things that you love over things that are like, okay, right? Next, this is one of my all-time favorites, and I picked this up on the very first BoxyCharm sale last March when I resubscribed after being gone from BoxyCharm for years. I was a BoxyCharm member years ago when it was like $19 a box or something like that. Then for whatever reason, maybe I couldn't afford it anymore at the time, shit was going on, and I canceled it. And then years later, which is last March now, I resubscribed, and this was their very first add-on shop. They had this Elemis Pro Collagen Insta Smooth Primer. I picked this up. You guys, I am almost gone. It's got like that much left in it, and I use it all the time. So it lasted a long time though. I mean, think about that. We're going on probably the 12 months that it would technically probably have its shelf life for. Let's see what it says. So I think it says, God, that's so small. It either says 9 or 18 months. I can't see, but either way, it'll be a year in March. So it did last quite a bit, but then again, I didn't use it every single day because again, look at my primer collection. But if I had the opportunity to buy this on another BoxyCharm sale, I would probably buy 5 of them. So I love that primer. very, very cooling on the skin. I love it when I am tired and I want to like kind of like awaken myself with something when I'm doing my makeup. Maybe I'm on my way to a double shift at work or something, and it fills in the fine lines and pores so, so good. So I just can't say enough about that primer, but it's a very, very expensive. I think retail value, it's like $90 or something. But so unfortunately, I won't pay $90 for it because I'm not blessed to have enough money to pay $90 for a primer. But when I can pick it up on the sales, I'm going to buy like 5 or 6 of them. But I haven't seen it again. You guys tag me on Instagram, whatever. Send me an email if you see this on sale. Next, from Touch and Soul. Again, this is one of my favorites. As you can see, it is almost gone. I do have one of these in my backup drawer. This is their No Problem Primer. This is very, very similar to the Hello Fab First Aid Beauty Pores Be Gone. I feel like these primers are very, very similar, and I love both of them equally. They are both staple pieces in my priming game. And next, from Pure Lissy, this is the Silk Glow BB Base Primer. So not to be confused with the Pure Lissy BB Ageless Glow Serum. So this is actually a primer. That one should probably be in my complexion video, like I said, but this is an actual primer. And I actually really, really, really like this one as well. So it's a good primer. Okay. Next, from Urban Decay, this is their Optical Illusion Primer. This is an amazing, amazing, you guys, line and pore filling primer. It is a very expensive retail value. I've got about half of this one left. I know it looks like it's all there, but it's really like up to like right there. And I do have a full one in my backup drawer as well. This is amazing for stubborn lines or stubborn bossy ass pores. Use this stuff. It can be found at Nordstrom's Rack if you guys have those in your area. I have never, ever, ever seen this in Marshalls or TJ Maxx, but I do see it all the time in Nordstrom's Rack, and you can pick it up for $30 there, and I think it retails for like $90, so that's quite a bit off. Okay, next, this is another favorite of mine. I love this primer. This is the Becca Skin Love Brightening and Blurring Primer. I love this for T-zone. I love this for filling pores and fine lines. Again, this is one that feels really, really refreshing to my skin. Next, from Pure, I have the 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. So I have a lot of their different primers. This is one that... God, I got it on a BoxyCharm sale, and I just have so many that I don't reach for it all the time, but it is a really, really nice primer. From Marc Jacobs, I do have the Coconut, this is the Undercover Primer. It's for blurring and perfecting. This one I do love. This is almost gone. It has a slight coconut scent. And I mean, I don't know what else to say besides this is a really, really good primer. I absolutely adore it. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get another one when this one is gone. Unless I look on like eBay or Mercier and find somebody that's selling one that they had, which I might do because I absolutely love this primer, and I hate that Marc Jacobs is going out of business or rebranding their beauty line, or maybe the beauty line is just going away and he's keeping his other things. But that's a bummer because this is a fantastic fucking primer, you guys. And next, from Beauty Blender, I have the Leveler Primer. And this is one that I was not super, super crazy about the very first time that I tried it. They have recently been at my TJ Maxx and Marshalls, so I wanted to give it a try. And when I did, I didn't love it. I'll have to revisit it to remember why. And then if I still don't like it after revisiting it, then I think I'll declutter that one. And next from Tarte, I have their Quench Primer. This is a mini and came out of an Ipsy Glam bag. Although there is quite a bit of product in there for a primer. I've used it probably like 15 different times, and there's probably another good 10 face primes left in that. For a mini, that's not bad. A little goes a long way. It's a very liquidy gel type primer. And next from Laura Geller, I have the Spackle Hydrate Primer. This again came out of a BoxyCharm, and I actually really like this, although it's more of like a moisturizer to me than a primer. So this is definitely one that if I'm going to use it, I'm going to double prime that day. And next from Beauty Creations, I have the Flawless Stay Hydrating Primer. I know that I've used it. It came out of a BoxyCharm sale. I always want to try new primers when I see them on there. I have literally bought every one that they've ever had on there since I've been on there because I just love primers. But I can't remember what I think about this. So this is another one that I'm going to put on my revisit list. And then if there's a reason why I'm not using it, then I'm just going to declutter it. And next, this is a recent BoxyCharm primer. This is the LYS Skin Gripping Primer. This came in just last month's box. I used it once and actually really did like it. So I will definitely be reaching for this again. I absolutely love their bronzer, their No Limit bronzer. Literally made me fall in love with bronzers all over again. That one and the Alamar Complexion Trio bronzer thing. Those two bronzers made me fall in love with bronzers all over again after I had like banished them from my routine because the ones that I was using was just making me look dry, cakey, and old. Well, those two bronzers I absolutely adore. And now I have a ton that I love again, but I just needed something to love to get me back into the bronzing, and their bronzer and the Alamar bronzer did it for me. But this is a really good primer. I have so many favorites that's why. Oh my God, this is a good one, guys. This is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Primer. These are like $42 at Sephora. Every now and then they're at my Marshalls. It's so hard to find there. It's like maybe like once every 6 months I'll see one there. I actually paid full price for this one at Sephora. I love this primer. It is one of those primers where it's like very moisturizing, but even if you had oily skin, you could use this because it's not greasy. It's a moisture that absorbs right in and then leaves no film on your skin afterwards, and then gives you a beautiful, bright, luminous look without any like shimmer particles or glitter particles or anything like that. You guys, this is a freaking amazing primer. If you ever have the opportunity to try this primer, I highly recommend it. Again, from Pure, this is their No Filter Rose Gold Primer. Again, I cannot remember how I feel about this primer. It's something that I'll have to revisit and use again to remember how I truly feel about it. And next, from Ofra Cosmetics, I have the Cool as a Cucumber Primer. This came out of an Ipsy bag, and again, I used it a couple times, and I just can't remember how I feel about it. I know that I do not like Ofra's new white packaging because when you're doing your makeup, your fingers get makeup-y, right? And then it stains, and it looks all nasty. I like literally hate their white packaging. Ofra, if you see this, change your white packaging. I hate that. It sucks because it makes your nice little makeup stuff look grimy. I don't know. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But anyhow, I think that I really liked it. I think that I kind of liked I didn't hate the primer. You guys, I can't remember. I need to reuse the primer. I didn't hate it. I know I didn't hate it, but I feel like I didn't love it, and I just can't remember why. So we're going to revisit that one and see how I feel about it. This is an amazing primer, you guys. I lost the top, but this is from Rodan and Fields. It does come with a moisturizer. I think you can buy it alone, but when I got it, it was a set that my mother actually bought for my birthday last July 4th. And it came with the primer, the moisturizer, and then the exfoliating face wash. You guys, this brand is so good. If you ever have the opportunity, look up Rodan and Fields, however you want to say it. That is, let me see if I can show you guys. So Rodan and Fields. That is the name. The primer is so good. It fills lines, it fills pores, it brightens the skin, it makes your makeup last. The moisturizer is one of my absolute favorite moisturizers for underneath makeup because the way that it absorbs so seamlessly into the skin and leaves not a hint of any type of film behind. So this is definitely a moisturizer that would be good for any type of skin type, dry, oily, or combination. And the face wash is absolutely amazing as well. And you can get the set of 3 online. So I definitely wholeheartedly recommend that line. Next, from Stila, I have their One Step Color Correcting Primer. Again, this is something that I just can't remember my thoughts on it. I know I've tried it, but I'm going to revisit that and see how I feel about it. Next, from Tarte, I have their Sea Glotion. And I think I like this. I know I like it, but I can't really remember much about it. It's another one that I need to use more to really remember how I feel about it. And next, this is also from Rodial, and it is their Instant Filling Primer. This is another one that came off of a BoxyCharm sale, and I need to revisit it to see how I feel about it. All of the ones that I said I'm going to revisit, I'm going to revisit them and decide, am I going to keep them or am I going to declutter them? So there's nothing that I'm absolutely decluttering out of my primer collection, but what I am going to do is I'm going to revisit several of them and then decide. And if there was something that I didn't like about it, it's got to go because I got to make room. My primer drawer is overflowing and I don't have room for any more primers, and that's a freaking problem. Okay, next I have the Laura Mercier Illuminating Primer. I can tell you that every single time that I have used this, it's been about 4 or 5 times, I felt like my foundation sat very weird on top of it. I felt like this accentuated pores and fine lines, and I did not like the way that my skin looked with this primer. I'm going to give it one more go with a different foundation and see if it works differently. And then if that's the case, then maybe it just needs to be used with certain foundations. But I have used it with a few different foundations, and every time I've used it, I have the same result of the accentuation of fine lines and pores, and I just didn't like the way that my face looked. So I'm going to try it again with a little bit of a drier foundation, like a foundation stick. I think I'll try it with my Tristique foundation sticks and see if it goes well with that. If not, then I am out of ideas for this, and then that means that it's just the primer and it doesn't work well for me and it's got to go. So we'll see. And next from Vesca, this is the Soft Skin Radiant Skin Primer. I got this from a BoxyCharm and actually really liked this. But then I think like I got another one that I really loved and that one kind of trumped. But this is definitely a good primer. I want to get back into using it. I felt like it was so nice. And I'm throwing shit all over. Okay, from CoverGirl, this is the True Blend Dry Face Primer. This actually came as an extra gift in a high-end Etsy makeup mystery box that I ordered, which I unboxed here on the channel. If you missed that video, it was a fun video. If you missed it, I'll link it in the description box below and check it out. It was a lot of fun. But she sent me an extra gift and it was this, and I've used it a couple times and I think it's really nice, especially for a drugstore primer. As you can see, I have a lot of high-end primers, so as far as drugstore goes, I think this is a good one. And then let's see. Okay, that's in a primer. Next, from Becca Black, I have their Hydrate Primer. This came out of a BoxyCharm some months back, and I have used it. I do like it, but again, it's one of those ones that I feel like is more of a moisturizer than an actual primer. But so I double prime with it. I'll use a pore filling, a line filler, you know, one of those primers that fill really well, and then I will use this one on underneath that one actually. So. And then from Yensa, I have the Tone Up Primer Essential Glow. This came out of an Ipsy, and I do really like it. It's almost gone. It's at the end of its road, and it's something that I would definitely repurchase. And next, from Becket Cosmetics, I have their Ever Matte Primer. This one I do like, but you have to be careful what foundation and moisturizer you're using it with. It's an amazing primer if used with products that it works well with. So there are products that make this peel off and ball up on your skin. So, but there's also products that I have used with it and it works beautifully. So it just kind of depends. From Ciate London, I have their Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. This came out of an Ipsy, and I have not used it yet. I kind of forgot I had it until I went through all of the primers for this video. But I love Ciate London. I need all the hydration I can get, so I'm going to try this very soon. And then I'm going to talk about a couple products here that are like primers to me, but they are my underneath eye primers, and they are so good. One is the Becca Cosmetics Under Eye Balm. It's supposed to be for color correction, and it's very similar to the Milk Makeup Cooling Water. If you have tried this, it gives that menthol pop underneath your eyes, and it also gives a ton of hydration and kind of like a seamless base for concealer application. So Becca Cosmetics is going out of business. All of their stuff is super, super cheap at my Ulta and Sephora. You can find these right here for 50% off. So for like, I want to say like $15 or maybe even $9. All I know is if you have an opportunity to try this, it's an amazing product. It literally just really awakens the under eye. It slightly color corrects. It gives a nice awakening, refreshing feeling, and then it also lays down a nice base for concealer to go on top of. I feel the exact same way about the Milk Makeup Cooling Water. If you can't get your hands on this, this is very similar. And then two other products that I do, well, this one I absolutely love. It is the Tula Rose Glow Under Eye Balm. It's got probiotic, prebiotic, really, really good skin loving ingredients. And it also does all of the same things that I just said about the other two products. And it just gives a really, really nice hydrated base for concealers. And then I also have the Tula Skincare Under Eye Balm in the orange. What this is supposed to be like color correcting, but still have all of the skin loving ingredients. This one I do like, but not as much as the Rose Glow one. So I felt like I dropped something. I don't know if it was a primer or not. Oh, there's one more. I have a little mini. Actually, I have minis of all of the e.l.f. Putty Primers. I have the regular, the mattifying, the illuminating, and this is the poreless. But I have minis like this of all of the e.l.f. Putty Primers as well. And oh, here's another one. So I have a mini of the Makeup Forever pore minimizing primer. This is one of my favorites. I have a mini right now because I got it out of when you get the little add-ons when you purchase something from Sephora online, but I need to repurchase a full size of this. This was one of my go-tos for years. I ran out of the full size that I had and I made a Sephora purchase, and this was one of the ones that was like you could get the little free gift. So I picked it up, and a little goes a long way with this. I have used this probably 10 times and it's not gone yet, and it's just a little mini, but I need to repurchase the full size of that. It is an amazing product. And then there's also this. Okay, this came in a BoxyCharm. It's supposed to be a primer. It came with a little 4-pan shimmer palette, and they both sucked. This is going to get decluttered. It's like chunky. Like, look at that. So it actually came like that too. And I probably should have thrown it away at the time, but I just threw it in my drawer. So I'm glad I went through my drawer. This is going to get thrown out. And you guys, that is my primer collection. We will be moving on to something different for the next video. But if you made it to the end, thank you so much for hanging out. I love you guys. I hope you had a fun time going through this crazy primer drawer with me. I'm going to revisit some, see what I love, see what I don't, get rid of what I don't, and make room for new, because this is a new year. New primers are going to be coming out, and your girl has got to try them. So until next time, guys, I lost my my little clicker to turn the video off, so I'm just going to do it by hand. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay beautiful, and I'll see you soon in my next one. Bye.